To kick it off, the foundational reason we're here is really just to talk about our regenerative agriculture partnership launch. Robby, why don't you just help walk us through a little bit about what regenerative agriculture really is?
In its simplest form, what regenerative agriculture is practicing farming and ranching in nature's image, right? And so what that really means is employing the wisdom and the lessons of civilizations all across the globe, and we can work in harmony and we can improve our land systems. We can improve the welfare of animals on the land. We can improve the circumstances of food workers and farmers and the folks actually on the front lines making this food for us. And we can improve the health and wellness of consumers as well by choosing the path of regenerative agriculture versus the path that we're on, which has been compromising all of those stakeholders.
Right now, you could take every car off the road. You could take every plane out of the sky. You could take out every single maritime shipping vessel in our great oceans and seas. You could shut down every coal-fired power plant in the world right now, and climate change would still happen at an alarming rate. Agriculture, that's the single largest contributor of carbon and land erosion. And so when people say to me, what the hell is regenerative ag and why does it matter? And I always just say, listen, regenerative agriculture is just the use of planned grazing methods and using living, growing plants at scale to sequester enormous amounts of carbon dioxide and store it safely back in the ground where it belongs. We have enough topsoil left in the world for about 60 harvests, meaning we have 60 years of food left.
2.5, maybe 3 years ago, we did a full survey on our guests, and most of our guests, like over 54%, were saying that they cared about the quality of their food. And then we started asking them how they defined quality. It's like 75% of our surveyed guests were under the impression that all bison were grass-fed.
Not
the case. And so we basically set out on a mission to find a company, and we did locally in Austin, that would service that request of our guests. And the really unique thing about our path with Force of Nature and with regenerative ag is such a rewarding journey to be on, because because the deeper into it that we get, almost the more we want to get into it. And recently we've been able to collectively kind of expand our mission and our goal, and that's really the launch of this burger. Robby, why don't you just help walk us through a little bit about what's kind of going on behind the scenes to get ready for the launch of this burger?
Yeah, I think conversations between Force of Nature and Hopdoddy started years ago. We put our heads down and started working on it, and went coast to coast, went internationally, looked all over the world trying to figure out how can we create a supply, or how can we find a supply, frankly, to fit your needs. And the reality is the opportunity that you're presenting for this industry is so big. An existing aggregated supply wasn't available, right? I mean, there is regenerative supply out there and there's massive potential to grow, but the step change represented by the supply of a restaurant chain the size of yours is so significant. We actually had to take a ranch that was 250,000 acres that was practicing very traditional agriculture in the sense of not necessarily being the most progressive and certainly not regenerative, and convince them to transition it to regenerative practices, right? And so we have Savory Institute's Land to Market program there right now, some Force of Nature's employees there right now doing baseline monitoring to convert that 250,000 acres to become a regenerative ranch to support the supply chain for the launch of this burger because of Hopdoddy's commitment to regenerative agriculture and its consumers. So,
dude,
cheers to you, buddy. Thank you.
Cheers to you, man.
Thank
you for doing that. You know, when you build something out of passion and a little frustration, it builds this fire in you that, look, we're in the food and beverage industry, right? The consumer, when you give them that optionality, when you give them a choice, or you give them the ability to understand something that is so powerful and beautiful, and just by them participating, one drink at a time, we're making a difference.
There's never been a better time to be a consumer than today, right? I mean, they hold all of the power. When it comes to food and when it comes to other consumables, you can't abstain. It doesn't exist. Like, if you're living, you're consuming. And that means you're voting. That means you're either supporting a system that absolutely is counter to your own values and the things and the positive change that you want to see in the world, or you're proactively supporting a path that actually aligns with your values and is what you want to be a part of.
One of the things that we're most proud of is the fact that we only do business with people that we're proud to do business with, and the way that we do business and the manner that we choose to do it is something that we really, really, really think is foundational to not only our core values, but our business model.
So awesome. Gentlemen, I just have to raise a toast to both of you. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.